One of the main reasons why we wanted to come here today to get a chance to speak with my friend and founder Blake Mallen was to get a chance to see what Blake is like behind the scenes. Not on stage, not in front of thousands of people, not necessarily the polished speaker that literally has mobs of people around him all the time asking him for advice. And he's had great accomplishments, but I wanted to get a chance to show the viewers the Blake that I know, the Blake that I've come to know over the last 10 years and developed a relationship with. And although we pretty much talk on a daily basis, multiple times a day, I bug you all the time, I know, and I see you all the time, we don't always get a chance to kind of reflect on all the things that we've been through over the last 10 years. I mean, we've literally seen a lot of stuff in just the past 10 years, and I'm very excited for all the years to come. But so you think that would be okay if we get a chance to see what Blake is like behind closed doors, in his home, in his comfort zone, not on stage?
Yeah, well, obviously, I'm excited to have you here, and you come here all the time, but I guess it's a little different with, the cameras around. But welcome. Thank you for coming to my home. It is interesting because we're at a pace right now where things are moving so fast, right? And just everything, both in ViSalus and just lives in general, kind of the stages we're at. You hit on that point. We don't get to reflect a lot, and I think it's worth. I think you guys need to know the real story behind the Rich Paula, right? And I guess I'm probably the best one to tell it. And it probably was about over 10 years ago, maybe 11 years ago. And it was interesting. Rich and I, we met in college. We went to school down in San Diego, UCSD. He was a smart kid. Always was a very very smart kid. I got involved in the network marketing industry in a telecommunications company, which is actually where I met, fellow co-founder, my partner, Nick Sarnicola. Nick was one of my original mentors in the industry. I was, 18, 19, and excited about the opportunity, much like a lot of people who just joined ViSalus today. And, I remember I really wanted to have success, and I was told that if you want to have success, you got to be held accountable, right? And we're always taught, we teach that to people all the time. You got to get a mentor, you got to be held accountable. And, I remember going out and taking that leap, and I went to my mentor at the time, right, Nick, who a lot of you guys know, and he put me on an accountability program. It was a simple one, and you know this story, right? And it was basically you have to talk to 3 people a day. Real simple, right? 3 people a day, doesn't matter when, just before you go to bed, 3 people a day. And I remember sitting in there, and it was quite a few weeks in, I was doing good, and I think it was like midterm time or something, and I got the phone call from Nick, probably about 11:30 p.m., and I hadn't talked to 3 people that day. And I couldn't lie. Like, I could have lied, but I just don't lie. Like, I couldn't lie. So I remember sitting in there, lights out, under the covers, right, in my boxers, in my dorm room, and I'm like, man, can you let me off the hook? I haven't talked to 3 yet today. And he said something, Nick, he says just the right words, just kind of get your own self-guilt to be like, he's like, well, if you don't want to become, successful, or you don't want to accomplish your goal or something like that. I'm like, so I got out of bed. I wasn't going to go wander around the dorm room at that late at night. So remember, I got on AOL Instant Messenger. You guys remember AOL Instant Messenger? Cool. And I just started going through all the UCSD students. And we had no brain power. You remember? And you know the story. Do you remember what it was? Do you remember what it was? What was the line? Do you want to make some extra money? That's how creative I was. Chief marketing officer, right? Do you want to make some extra money? Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, just looking for somebody to reply at, by this time it was like midnight, right? I don't know what you were doing, and there, all of a sudden, there it is, Rich Paula. Yes. and I said, great, give me your phone number. What I was thinking is, great, give me your phone number, I want to go to bed, right? I said, give me your phone number, we'll talk tomorrow. And that is how Rich, Paula, and I met. I skateboarded over to your dorm room the next day, learned about the opportunity. He jumped aboard right away and ended up not only becoming one of my strongest leaders in that company, but who knows, who would have known? The catalyst to now one of the biggest leaders in ViSalus, and one of the key individuals that brought, not only myself and Nick, but Ryan, right, together. And it just goes to show you just never know when that next relationship is going to come into your life that'll change everything. Because if I hadn't got out of bed, because of the accountability, right? If I hadn't gone out there and you hadn't been online doing whatever it is you were doing at midnight.
I was writing a paper.
You were not, I doubt you were writing.
I was. Well, I was trying to figure a way to legally plagiarize. No, I'm not going to say that. But I was trying to creatively finish a paper that I did not want to do, because I was sitting at my desk and I was realizing that everything that was told to me, for the last 18 years of my life was go to school, get good grades, and I'm like, I was not looking forward to the end result of, that electrical engineering major. So I was literally sitting at my desk, and I remember I was on AOL, and I was researching and trying to copy paste some words into some sort of essay, and that message popped up. And obviously there was a little bit of hesitancy at first with the simple message at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, like, do you want to make some extra money? So naturally my initial instinct was, okay, well, what kind of drugs am I going to do? Right? So, but out of blind faith, I gave him my number, and like you said, I met him the next day. Shortly after that, I got a chance to meet Nick Sarnicola, and the rest, as you guys know it, everything happens for a reason. But you're absolutely right. You never know, when opportunity is going to knock. It definitely didn't knock at a convenient time.
It was a chime. You got mail. Yeah. You taught me a valuable lesson, though, and you may not even know this, because that ingrained in me that anytime you go that little extra mile when you don't have to, don't want to, that's when the biggest doors open up. And ever since I learned that, and you may not know, it's like you always go that extra step, and that makes all the difference in the world. So it's crazy.
That.
Yeah.